Isaiah, how big was it to get that win, to get you back on the winning track after coming back from the Bahamas?
It was very big for the team because I felt like we lost a lot of confidence when we went to the Bahamas and lost our 3 games straight. So it was very big, and the way we fought back and the way we responded to adversity in that game was the way we should have handled it in the Bahamas.
What about you personally? 12 of your 15 points came in the last 8 minutes. I know you had foul trouble to start off, so that maybe would have sidetracked you. But what happened that really kind of lit your fire there? My teammates just looking for me. Coach Mack, calling out the plays, to give me a chance to, help the team. And, my teammates gave me the ball and I scored. So was that big for you also, confidence-wise?
Kinda, but everybody has their role, and I'm playing my role the way that I'm told. So it was good because we won.
And Matt, just to kind of follow up on what Shannon said about the win, to get back here and kind of exhale with a win, was that important to this team just to get a win?
Yeah, definitely. And with any game, a win's a win for us. Even though we had to sort of battle it out and get one in overtime, for us it was huge to get back on that winning track. And I think it's going to help us a lot going forward, being able to know that we can rely on a lot of guys to step up and that it doesn't have to be one person to carry the whole load.
What's kind of the emotion of this team? Because when you went to the Bahamas, you were 5-0, and I'm sure feeling really good about yourselves, and then to kind of take the shot you took, and then to come back here now, and there's still a whole season left. Just kind of what's the mood of the team? How do you feel about the team at this point?
I think that everyone's encouraged and everyone's excited to sort of get back on that track. We look at it as after we lost a couple games, we're going to start that winning streak again. We're going to start all over and start from the bottom and sort of build it back up. And the fact that we got 1 win under our belt, and then we have Evansville coming up, and then we want to sort of get them clicking and get them rolling so we can go into the conference season feeling well.
What do you know about, either of you guys know about Evansville? I know they have DJ Ballantyne, really high scoring guy. What do you know about their team? A lot of foreign guys too, from what I've seen.
Mm-hmm. We know that with DJ Ballantyne, he's a scorer. He's a guy that's going to get his points up. He's going to get his shots up. Very good player. So we're going to have to play a lot of help side defense, try to contain him. If we can contain him, then we can control the pace of the game. We also know that they like to pump fake a lot. They get to the free throw line a lot. So this is another game where we don't want bigs, guards, everyone getting into foul trouble. So we'll have to be very disciplined defensively. So the big thing for us is sort of staying out of foul trouble and making sure that we can contain their big scorers.
Yeah, and their posts usually, they're kind of wings, to be honest. They like driving the ball more than just posting up and going, left hook or right hook. They like facing up and driving.
Matt, can you put your finger on why rebounding has regressed in the last few games?
I think we sort of came out of the gate at the beginning of the season real amped up, and everyone was sort of, playing without a conscience, but also playing smart. And we may have gotten away from being that defensive team as our identity. So defense is our identity. And that's something we need to get back to, and we will. And I think we need to stress defense a little bit more where, as a team, as players, we need to, let our defense lead to our offense. And maybe that's a reason for why our rebounding has gone down a little bit. But, I know that the bigs and the guards as a whole are going to take care of that and get that fixed.
Today, Miles Davis was named Rookie of the Week in the conference. He had some really pivotal three-pointers in the last game. Can you just talk about maybe what you've seen just in him in the first 9 games and how he's developed as a freshman? Yeah,
he's been a guy who's been really resilient, even over the past couple games. You may think that, him having a bad game here or there, not a big deal, but, especially for a guy it's his first year playing, a lot of the times with freshmen, they can get really down on themselves if they have a bad game here or there. And I know there was a couple games where he didn't hit every 3 that he wanted, but the fact that he's sort of battled through it, especially in practice. He's been a guy who's maybe struggled a little bit defensively in learning our concepts, but he's worked so hard in practice. He's been a guy that hasn't given up, hasn't gotten down on himself, And the fact that, he can get one of those accolades that sort of, pump him up even a little bit higher, I'm sure he's going to be a guy that's going to be huge for us down the stretch. And he's a guy we need to be huge from, especially from the three-point stance.
I have a question for both of you. It's kind of offbeat, but you both wear protective goggles in the games, and both of you have had troubles with them. I think, Isaiah, you did in the last game, like a lens popped out, and then you did, I think, in the Bahamas. Do you guys have, like, spare pairs you keep with you, or do you just kind of, like, can you play without them if need be? I mean, what's the situation there?
We both have spares, so if they're really broken, we can just tell David Fluker to give us our other pair. For me, I know I can't play without them because I'm allergic to contacts, which is why I got them in the goggles in the first place.
Yeah, we have a spare pair. Fluker holds on to those, so if one of them breaks, like he had another one ready for me on the sideline. But then, yeah, I have bad eyesight where I need like a corrective prism to go into the glasses. So I would wear contacts. I've never actually worn contacts, but the way my eyesight is, like, I need them to see, so they are prescription. But if for some reason both broke or they didn't have them, I could play without them. It'd just be squinting, I'm not like blind, but
like this,
yeah, I was squinting. It's a little bit hard to see, but I'd be able to play, hopefully.
It's just unusual because we don't have so many goggles.
Yeah.
Chris, renewing a bit of a rivalry here with Evansville, a team that Xavier hasn't played in about 10 years. You obviously went there. Did that have anything to do with why you wanted to maybe play them again as a guarantee game?
It's a great sidebar. It wasn't certainly the determining factor. I just thought, we thought Evansville is a quality opponent. It's very close in proximity. And so, hopefully it adds to our fans' excitement for the game. It was a great game years ago, a conference member. We were in the MCC together, and, there will be a lot of, fans that remember those games.
DJ Valentine, number 4 in the country in scoring, leads the conference. He even scored, I think, 18 points a game in their losses. What makes him such a challenging player to defend?
He's relentless. He does a great job in their motion of getting open. Even when you defend him well off screening action, he has the ability to go one-on-one. He's shooting at a very, very high percentage from the three-point line. He's drawing fouls. He's playing with a lot of confidence. And again, when you play Evansville in the way that they play offensively, where they're constantly screening and rescreening and making defenders work off the ball, it's tough. And when you get a kid like DJ who reads screens really well and has the ability to both drive and shoot the ball, you can see why his numbers are the way they are. He's had a great sophomore year.
Chris, how helpful was it for the team just to come back and get a win against Bowling Green?
We needed it. We needed that one. And, we had a couple times throughout the game, 10-point leads, 11-point leads, and give Bowling Green credit. They stormed back. Their kids didn't quit. But we faced a heck of a lot of adversity in that game against Bowling Green, and I'm really proud of our guys for being able to gut it out. And we need to play better. We need to rebound better. We need to take care of the ball better than we did in that game. But we certainly needed to come away with a win on Saturday.
Those kind of things, certainly, those things you mentioned are coachable, things you can fix. But just mentally, was it just something this team really just needed to kind of put away, the Bahamas trip?
Yeah, I think anytime your team goes on a skid, you start to lose confidence, and that's what happened with our team. Those turnarounds in the Bahamas were really, really quick, and we came back here. We tried to become a better team in practice, but ultimately you're measured by how you play in the games and your success on the court. During game time, and our team put a lot of hard work, and we didn't play perfect, we didn't play well at times, but it was good to see for our guys because no one wants to lose. I'm not in this to lose.
I know it's sometimes a sticky question to ask somebody who transferred from a school, but how do you look back at your years at Evansville? Do you look back at it fondly? How do you see your time?
Yeah, I loved my time at the University of Evansville. I met a lot of great people. I have friendships to this day, whether it's former teammates or classmates of mine. It was a great experience, and I think when anybody looks back on their college days, usually the best 4 years of your life. And I was only spent 2 years there, but the school was a very, very close-knit school. Everybody got along. I learned so much in my 2 years, both on and off the floor, the basketball part of it. I don't know if I've ever been around a smarter head coach during my time at Evansville than Coach Cruz. And, Marty Simmons, who's now the head coach at Evansville, he's one of the small reasons that I went to Evansville out of high school. He really put the program on the map as a player. So when I think of my University of Evansville days, I think there are so many positive things. And, we all grow old, but a lot of families and friends of mine that still reside there and always have a special place in my heart.
Did you play with Marty, or did you know him? Do you still know him personally to today?
No, when I was a senior in high school, he was a senior in college. And so when you're making your official visits and you're making your unofficial visits and getting to know the program, he was the guy. I mean, he was a star. He was averaging, 24, 25 points a game. And, they were a few shots away from going to the NCAA tournament. They beat DePaul. I mean, he was the guy. And then, he got invited to a couple training camps, and then he got released from the Utah Jazz, I believe, and came back while I was a freshman there. So I got to know him a little bit, certainly not as well as when you play with people. But he's always been really good to me. I see him on the road, and I root for those guys when we're not playing them, obviously.
Is it I know basketball is kind of a small world when you look at it, but coming from Coach Orr to Coach Simmons, is it just kind of weird to see these faces from the past?
I mean, I don't know if it's weird. It's a great thing. There's such a fraternity amongst coaches, and just the familiarity for me is really special. It just brings back so many memories. To see Evansville across the chest when I'm scouting. I think there was a picture that I saw of my playing days, and damn to be young again.
Do you still have a sleeve jersey anywhere at home?
I have it in my closet. Yes, I do. I don't usually put it on in front of people other than my family, and I don't usually put it on much, to be honest with you, anyway. But it still fits. It still fits.
Miles Davis, Big East Rookie of the Week today. He had a huge game and has had a lot of good games lately. What has his progress been like just in the first 9 games this year?
Well, I've said it from day one. Miles plays with a ton of confidence. And, those shots he hit in overtime and even leading to overtime, those were big-time shots. I mean, the game was in the balance. It wasn't a foregone conclusion that either team was going to win, so we needed every point that he scored for us. But, he just has to get better like most freshmen in areas that maybe don't come as easy to him, whether it's on the defensive end, whether it's handling the ball, making the right decision. But, he's 8-9 games into his freshman year. He's doing a great job, and I know his teammates have a lot of confidence in him, so do his coaches. Again, he's a difference maker on the floor. There's no doubt about it.